My name is Lilo. You're watching Headbangers Lifestyle. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And we have here the lovely Leather Leone. Welcome,
hey guys.
girl. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thanks for tuning in as well. We're glad to have you here.
I'm sorry about the mess up last week. I have such a hard time with time zones. It's like,
it's crazy. I know.
It is. It's nuts.
Yes.
But here we are. Here we are.
And here we are. And people out there, of course, you know her from as the voice of Chastain, but also as a solo artist. So the fame came in the early 80s, and you're still strong here. So right now, how does life treat you at the moment, first of all?
Life is very good for me because I'm in the middle of making a new record. Vinnie Tex and I have recorded most of it. So next year is going to be really, really exciting. But yeah, life is good. I'm blessed that all of you allow me to keep doing music. So life is good. COVID's letting us open up a little bit more. So it looks good.
Yeah. And yeah, like you say, you are working on your new solo album. Yes, it will be the third solo album.
Yeah.
I think it is, right?
Well, no, it's the, oh, I apologize. Leather 2. Oh God, yeah, third.
Yeah, okay. The third. So when did you feel the time was right to start with a new solo album, actually?
Well, I had the privilege of doing some shows starting in 2014 in Brazil. And I was doing, Chastain stuff. And then I just, I met Vinnie, and it just kind of seemed like the next natural step. I really meshed with these guys musically. And, we just decided, hey, let's see. That's how Leather 2 came about. Let's see if we can write. Let's see if we can do something. So we created 2, and through 2, I built an extremely close musical relationship with Vinnie Tex. And we just write like crazy. So we just flew, and took the opportunities that we had. So it was really through meeting, going to Brazil, Rio de Janeiro.
Have a party.
Yeah.
So there you met those guys, and particular Vinnie, who is now your writing partner.
Yeah.
But what are you always looking for in a writing partner, actually? And what do you see as the real magic between you two guys?
Well, the thing is that I haven't really always written all my music. So it was a new step for me when we did 2. And we just clicked. I mean, just like with Chastain, I think there's certain guitar players that you want the same things, you want the same results, you want to explore. And it just really clicked with him. So it was so exciting for me at this point in my life to meet someone like that. And, we had a lot of trial and error, but it just really worked. I guess the magic is just someone who's on the same page, someone who gets you. He gets my voice. He gets what I want. So I'm blessed. It just works. It works great.
Yeah. So yeah, because it's not always easy to find the right fitting partner.
No, I mean, everybody writes. Everybody can write, but it's about if you can make it work. Yeah.
Yeah, true connection about it. Yeah, and you are very far in the entire process of finishing up the album.
Yeah, he just has to finish up some solos, and they're going to mix it. I did it at Hurt Studios in Poland, huge studio. They're going to start mixing it, I think, in December. So I'll start shopping it in the spring and see what happens. But we're really excited. I mean, this is our first, it's just myself and Vinnie. So we're really excited.
Yeah. So what are for you the most important key elements of this album? What can fans expect?
Well, it's very expressive. We went through a lot of things, changing teams in Brazil. And we just kind of both came from the same place. And he actually changed my lyrical writing. How should I say it? I kind of wrote things like about today, like, the lampshade, the sun. And he got me he said, let's write more mystical, more Armageddon kind of, it's hard to explain, but he changed a lot of it. It's, I don't say things bluntly. It's all, you can interpret it in all different ways. It's a lot, melodically, it's really different for me. It's a really good record. Good record.
So that was a big challenge for you as well, doing things a little different, getting out of
the
comfort zone.
I'm very stubborn, and I'm very stuck in my ways. So yeah, we had a lot of but yeah, his decision was usually right. And again, it just really, really worked for me. Yeah, it is different for me. It's not like it's some big musical epitaph, but it musically for me, it's much more melodic in like a Candlemass kind of way. Yeah, it's really heavy. It's really heavy without being extreme. I'm really pleased with it.
Okay, so more a bit doom kind of vibe as well, or is that a little bit too much?
Yeah, no, you could kind of say that. Not, yeah, there's some Sabbathy, and if it was up to me, I would do doom metal forever. But yeah, it's a heavy record. There's a lot of guitar layering, and this one I did more. Two, I was trying to be all just dry vocals. This one, I'm doing a lot more harmonies, and it's just a thicker sounding record. Leather 2 is kind of like this. This one's like this.
So
the wall of sound, yeah.
Wall of sound, yeah, and with maybe a new production, more modern production as well.
Yeah, much so. That's yeah, Lilo, that's it, modern. I wanted it to be a modern sounding record. We got Braulio Drummond, who did the drums on 2. He did it's great. But yeah, it's modern. It's a modern leather sound.
Yeah, so you took yourself to date today's exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it will always be me. It will
Yeah.
always be me. I'll always have my sound, but yeah, it's going to be much more modernized.
Yeah, and you said you were recording in Poland.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why in Poland? Why in Europe?
Why Poland? I know everybody says, why do you go to Poland? I got to tell you, when we were doing Leather 2, we decided that we wanted to redo the vocals. So we were on the road, and Vinnie knew the guys, the Slavic brothers. He knew them from recording his, he was in an Unearthly, I think they were called, an extreme metal band. In Behemoth, Hate, Vader, Decapitated, all these heavy bands record there. But they let me go in, and I did vocals, and I can remember saying to them, I'm coming back here. The atmosphere and the way they treated me, and it's so good to be in a studio, a real studio. It's just the vibe there. They just got me. They're extremely professional. They're extremely caring. I mean, I will never record anywhere else. I love it there. And you stay right on the premises. So Hurt Studios in Poland, I think it's Bolestok. I think that's the town. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. So happy to be there.
Yeah. So I think the working title is We're the Chosen.
We're the Chosen. That's the title. Yeah.
And it's going to be like that. Yeah, that's definite. Yeah. So it's kind of intriguing. Is there anything you referring to with that title? Is there something?
Yeah, I am. You and me, it's a metal family. We are the chosen. I feel that, especially through the loss of Ronnie Dio, who musically was everything to me. I think us metal heads, us metal family, I think we're chosen to do this. It's our job to interpret it. It's our job to spread it to you. We are the chosen. We're special. We're special, and we're proud of it. And yeah, we are the chosen. Yeah. By the hands of the gods. I mean, we're chosen. We're metalhead. We're chosen. Yeah.
And what has always been the magic of metal and the community for you?
I think selfishly, it's really just when I found my voice, it was just, holy shit, this is how I've been trying to express myself my whole life. That's how I do it. I don't go crazy. I don't shoot people. I do drive fast cars, but it was what was supposed to come out of me. It just came out from the inside, and I am proud, so proud to be able to do that for you, for everybody. That's what the powers that be gave to me. That's what I was chosen to do. So yeah, it just opened up my world when I discovered metal, and I discovered it late, the early 80s. I was into like Fleetwood Mac in Boston and Elton John, and then I moved to California. It was over. Yeah.
So, do you think there's a lot of change in the scene because you experienced the rising of the metal scene, and you now can see how it is today? How do you see it?
Well, I think it's always great that people have the opportunity to express themselves. There's so much of it now that it's kind of hard to stand out. But I love the progression of metal. I love extreme metal. Arch Enemy, Lamb of God, Ginger, Spirit Box. Oh my God, what these people have done to metal vocals blows my mind. I think it's great. Social media, it sucks, but it's great because Vinnie and I can make a record with him being halfway around the world. I can communicate with you. I have no complaints. Again, I am so blessed to be able to do it. I'm there.
Yeah.
But I love the growth of it all. I love the growth of it all.
What did it take for you to, or let me say, what does it take to survive in this business, you think?
Interesting. That's a great question. And I left for a long time. Again, I am blessed. And I think a lot of it has to do with, I've always kept my clothes on, which is extremely important to me. Sexual integrity. I can't get into that gender thing. And again, honestly, I was one of the first handful, I hate to say it, but of women that made records in the 80s. Yeah. And I think people hung on to that, Doro, me, Betsy, Debbie from Sentinel Beast. And excuse me, I'm forgetting many of them, but there were just a handful of us. We were just singing our hearts off. We weren't doing it to create any kind of genre. And I think people just hung on to it. And now, of course, there's women everywhere, and the women talk about it, listening to me and Doro, how they got inspired. So I think that has a lot to do with it. And of course, Chastain wrote these incredible records for me to be able to sing like a mother. Yeah. So I think that has a lot to do with it. We just made some music that people were interested in. So when I wanted to come back, people were like, cool, come on in. What are you doing? So blessed. It's because of all of you. Thank you. So blessed that it had such an impact. And you have no idea when you're doing it that people are going to even care, Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I meet these 20-year-olds at shows that are singing Angel of Mercy. It was written even before they were born. So yeah, again, we are the chosen. It's such a blessing. I mean, I am so grateful. I don't take any of it for granted, believe me. Yeah. What was it an easy life for you back in the day then as a young musician? I mean, oh God, yeah. Yeah. I didn't worry about anything. I had people taking care of me. It's not like now. Oh. I was touring and playing and making records and hanging out with famous. It was heaven. I loved it. I still love living out of a suitcase. I wish I could do it more. Yeah. I was made for that life. Yeah. Are you an easy traveler? Or yes, the last minute packing or no, I'm really messy. It's funny as I look around here, I'm very messy, but no, I'm easy. You tell me where to be at what time, I'm there. No, I was always really good. I knew it's a job. It's a job. So I was always on it. And it's something that I always thought about in the 80s, you would hear all these metal bands and then they would never sound the same, the vocals when you would see them live. So my thing always was I worked my ass off to sound like the records. That was always my thing. So I didn't party. I drank water. I worked out. I mean, it was this really sober, straight life for me. It's when I get off the road that we're in trouble. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but no, I'm so easy. Everybody says I am. So yeah, yeah. But where was it like that when you were on the road all the time and then you had to go home? Yeah. Well, going home is always a disappointment. You're like, yeah. Yeah, exhausting to be at home. Not that. You want the stage, the vibe. It really drives me crazy now because I've had I was doing well and then COVID hit. So now I'm like back at square one. Yeah, I'm losing it. I want to go out so bad. Yeah. So bad. Of course. Yeah. And over all these years, you've kept your voice in shape and flexible. What did you do exactly to keep your voice? Nothing. Again, I am so blessed. When it comes time when I know, I do the Frank Sinatra rule. Frank Sinatra always said when he was going to tour, make records, he stopped drinking and doing everything at 5 weeks. So that's what I do. But again, I'm really blessed. I run, I do cardio, which I hate, but I run, sleep, and drink water. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Just normal healthy. I'm blessed. I'm so blessed. Yeah. And you mentioned when you are doing shows as a solo artist, you play the Chastain Classics. What is your conclusion actually when you see the audience and you see and feel their reaction, their response to those songs? I got to tell you, it's tear jerking. I mean, I have cried many times. Yeah. Yeah, we do. I always do For Those Who Dare, Angel of Mercy, Voice of the Call, and they just come together. I mean, it's I was actually talking to Vinnie about that. I would love just to be able to do my own stuff, but it'll never happen. And that's okay.
Mhm.
People want to hear it. He actually wants to incorporate more next year, but no, it's unbelievable. Seriously, it brings tears to my eyes. And it's crazy. They know every word, every guitar lick. It's, again, we are the chosen. That's the family. That's what we do. I interpret for you and you love it. That's the way it goes.
Do you also see a younger generation in these days? What do you think?
That's what I'm saying. How do you even know? And they're like, well, my dad used to play it for me, or it's frightening. These young girls, some of them have the blonde streak in their hair like I used to.
Yeah.
I love it. I love meet and greet so much. I love all of them. Yeah. So appreciative, so grateful.
Yeah, of course. It's it's an honor, of course.
It is. It's a total honor to do what I do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And people are coming up with their vinyls. I mean,
yeah.
Happy
for that.
Yeah. Do you collect yourself music, vinyl? Are you into music?
I don't. It's so funny. I do not. I just have a Sirius radio. I have internet. No, I don't really collect anything. I even have my own stuff like in a box somewhere. No, I don't. I'm really weird that way.
Yeah.
I don't like to collect things. I just want to, of course I will always have my Dio CD collection.
Of course.
No, I do. I listen to stuff online like everybody else,
Yeah. So if you could go back in time and meet your younger self, what advice would you give her?
I would tell her to not be so lazy and to work harder. I would tell her to not trust other people with your career, that everybody isn't on the same page as you. Yeah, I would tell myself to take control of what I was doing.
Yeah. Is that also the advice that you would give to young people who go into the business?
That's what I do, because they ask me, what should I do? I'm like, I don't know. It's a different time. I don't know. Lilo, back in my time, the labels came out to you. There were clubs on every corner to play. The labels came looking for you. Management came looking for you. I don't know what you do now. I guess you put yourself out there and be grateful, but you have to watch your own business is what I tell them, because I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And know where it's going, what's happening, be in control of everything. That's what I would tell them.
Mm-hmm. And are you doing that right now?
Oh, baby, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the songs on the record that we wrote, Take Back Control. I mean,
Yeah, that's
it's not a bad thing. You just need to be aware. You can't, I learned that the hard way, unfortunately, but it's okay.
Yeah, okay, well, better late than never.
That's right.
Yeah, so let me see. Well, you have a huge heart for heavy metal, but apparently you also have a huge heart for animals and welfare of animals.
That's my other life. I'm a technician.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, and I do a lot of pit bull stuff. I'm always for the underdog, but I do work with animals. Again, how blessed am I? Music and animals. That's what I do. It's my whole life.
Yeah, and to understand for our viewers, being a technician, what exactly is it that you do then?
Basically, I'm the nurse. I'm the anesthesiologist. I take the blood, I do the x-rays. I basically take the orders from the doctor and I do it all.
Mm-hmm. So you're working on a daily basis for that?
Yeah. I work at an animal hospital where I started when I stopped touring in 1990. Mm-hmm. I've been there ever since. So, and again, I can come and go as I please. Yeah, I have a great life.
Yeah.
Except I need to tour more.
Of course. Is that also something you take further in your regular lifestyle, so to speak, like taking care of the environment, maybe?
I'm pretty hardcore vegan right now, and I try to be. Yeah, I try to do the best I can. I don't push it on anybody. It's just what comes out of me. I just think it's important to do do what's important to you. So yeah, I do a lot of that stuff. I try to take care of Mother Earth best I can. Like I said, I don't go crazy about it and I don't push it on you, but that's the kind of life that I lead. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do they think at your work, that you are this singer, have the coolest voice and going into metal?
And everybody in the town knows. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything on your bucket list, so to speak, for the near future?
Yeah, I've always wanted to play Bakken. I'm hoping that it'll happen someday. Yeah, I just want a good tour. I want a good tour opening. I want a big tour. I haven't had a big tour in many, many years. But no, not really. No, I take that back. I want to see a shark. I want to see some whites in their natural habitat. But I don't know if I will ever have the balls to get into a cage, but I may. Yeah, I would like to see more wild animals in their environment. I'm going to plan a trip to Africa to see what's left of the rhino. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I would like to see them in their natural habitat until, they're going to be gone,
Yeah, unfortunately.
But I need to see a white. Yes, I need to see a white shark.
Yeah. And do you have time to do other stuff other than working on music? Do you take the time to have some certain hobbies or?
Well, no, not really. I don't. I'm a big runner. I just love nature in general. I horseback ride, I snowmobile. I do want to travel somewhere. I recently spent some time in Portugal before I went to Poland. No, it pretty much takes up my whole life, and that's okay. I have no problem with that. Yeah. You have to let it engulf you, you have to live it in order for anything to happen. I think, and again, that's something that I would have told myself in my youth. It's not, don't worry about looking it, you have to live it,
Is that something you take back in your lyrics as well? You live the life, and that reflects in your lyrics as well, like
very much so. Yeah, you get the lyrics on this record are great because there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of spewing, so it's really good.
Yeah.
But I do it classy.
Of course.
Of course. But yeah, I'm really excited about all of it. And again, you have to take every opportunity. And COVID kept us down for so long that we're just like speeding out of a rocket right now. So
yeah. Well, I hope the tour will, be there.
Oh, it'll happen. Yeah. I'm not patient, It's really hard for me to be patient. Look, I can't even sit still. It's really hard. It's really hard for me. I want to go all the time. Yeah.
Well, first you have to wrap up the album, and then you have to set a release date. Do you have a release date?
No idea. I don't know what label's going to pick it up yet. No, it's still in baby stages. The vocals are done, and like I said, it's probably 90% done. But the work begins after that. The record's the easy part, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Are you ever thinking of doing producing yourself? Well,
basically we did. Vinnie and I produced the record.
Yeah. Oh, you're very much involved in the producing. Production.
Yeah. That's great. And again, take back control. Yes. Which is a new thing for me. And it was really quite interesting. Yeah, but we did this from start to finish, both of us. Yeah.
What was the hardest part then?
What is the hardest part? I don't know.
Produce your own.
I want to go they want you to go E. Yeah, no. I always have I have a problem with authority. I always look at them and say, "Don't fucking tell me how to sing, motherfucker." I want to say, but Vinnie is a perfectionist, which was extremely upsetting to me because I am not. Very key oriented, which I'm saying that incorrectly, but yeah, we slash heads a lot because look, and I've also been doing this for 100 years. So I'm looking at these young people going, who are you? Well, can we just try it this way? And also the studio is not my favorite place. I feel extremely confined and claustrophobic. I'm a live performer. I'm not, someone who sits still and you have to, So it was a challenge. Arguments every day. Throwing So the hardest thing was for me to open up and listen, try other things,
get out the comfort zone.
I would need a few hours to and walk out and then come back in. All right, I'll try it.
Yeah. Well, so the conclusion is you're born to be on stage, but a little less in the studio.
And I tend I said, Vinnie was a perfectionist. You have to, I'll post this for him when it's ready because I had never been involved from start to finish. I wasn't really exactly sure how it went. And when I saw it, it was like, mother of God, everything has to be, I would with Chastain, I would do my parts and go, good luck, see you next week. I wasn't there. So this
Yeah.
was but now that I've done it, I'll never do it any other way. I will always be there from the beginning of the drum rolls.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm curious, and I hope that we can hear, of course, the end result in
Of course.
2020 very soon. Cross our fingers that a label will pop by and hit the contract.
Yeah, let me talk about it. Yeah.
And then we're gonna definitely zoom in more to it. So is there anything you would like to say to your fans as a wrap up?
Yes, like I always do. I mean, I am so grateful for you for still caring about what I'm doing after 127 years, I always say. I'm just really excited. And again, it's all because of you. I appreciate every single one of you. We wrote the record for you. So, just stay tuned, stay with me like you always do. Leatherleone.com, my new website is being built. So just stay tuned. I'm on Instagram, Vinnie Tex Guitar. You can follow him too. Yeah, we're everywhere.
Well, that's good news. Okay, well, Leather, thank you so much for being here with us. And you guys out there, thank you so very much. And stay tuned and see you the next time.
Ciao. Love and Dio.